We are stepping to the music while you keep your eyes on Petrie. You all adore us. What happens when the VMAs, a night to honor the biggest names in music, becomes a battleground of fistfights, rage, and mayhem? Instead of the sparkle, glamour, and Instagram-worthy moments that viewers were expecting, the stage manager delivered something completely unexpected. Claressa Shields, the boxing champion, was the target of a vicious attack by Remy. Yes, a fight between a rapper and a fighter in front of cameras that flash. Furthermore, the released video is considerably more startling than the rumors indicate. Imagine this. As Remy charged forward, the star-studded audience gasped. Claressa, who was accustomed to battling in the ring, appeared taken aback by the commotion of the red carpet and fancy outfits as her voice echoed with "Raf." Flashlights. Security hurried in. The world would never forget what transpired thanks to the secret cameras that recorded the celebrity's whispers. Here's the twist, though. According to sources, this was not a sporadic outburst. According to unnamed sources, there is a more complex past and a resentment that has been simmering for months or even years. Claressa may have irritated Remy, according to several admirers. Others claim Remy had been preparing her attack as she waited for the right opportunity. Why now, then? The VMAs. Why? And what precisely did the covert cameras record that made fans shudder in disbelief? Even while the VMAs have always been crazy, no one anticipated that this year's headline would be filled with angry words. Ignore who received the largest prize or who wore the most exquisite gown. The only topic of conversation is Remy Ma, the courageous rap queen, who brutally attacked the unbeaten boxing champion. Claressa Shields, in a backstage altercation that completely disrupted the glitzy evening. Indeed, there is a secret video circulating that supporters claim demonstrates everything. Because this conflict didn't just happen, let's go back in time. Because of Remy's and Claressa's reputations, drama is unavoidable. She's never been the kind to hold her tongue. Remy? She has made a living by using her foes as fodder for anything from lyrical jabs to public feuds. Claressa is the self-described GWAT, the best female boxer of all time, renowned for her passion, fists, and her stubbornness to submit to authority. Tell me it's not a ticking time bomb if you put those two personalities in the same room. Long before the VMAs, the tension began to simmer. Months ago, there were rumors that Remy had made fun of Claressa at a private gathering. Remy doesn't like how Claressa talks, like she runs the industry. An anonymous insider whispered to a site. She said she'd check her one day. Fans at the time brushed it off as rumors, but they were sorely mistaken. Time travel to VMA night. The cameras recorded false hugs, gowns, and smiles. However, insiders claim that tension was high behind the scenes. Claressa strolled on the carpet, like a pro. She was literally lapping up the attention by posing with her belts. Remy, on the other hand, tightened her jaw and maintained eye contact. The eventual explosion was just around the corner. According to one admirer who said they witnessed Remy mouth the words, "She's done." When the two apparently ran into each other close to the green room, mayhem broke out backstage. Remy lost it, according to several unnamed witnesses. She sprang at Claressa, yelling things that security did everything in its power to silence. One insider said the scene was so brutal, adding that it appeared to be a professional fight rather than a rap feud. Keep in mind that Claressa is a boxer, not just any star. And the leaked footage, blurry and shaky but damning, shows what looks like Remy pushing Claressa before chaos breaks out. The crowd screams, staff rush in, and for a brief moment you can hear someone yell, "Not here." Fans online described it as the ultimate clash of industries, comparing rap to boxing and stage 2 ring, and even she appeared caught off guard as Remy swung first. Not right now. As if it couldn't get much more repulsive, followers began to piece together the narrative, bringing up old footage of Remy in interviews and side-eyeing Claressa's ascent to prominence in contrast. Claressa once declared in an Instagram live, "I don't care who you are, you will receive the same treatment as everyone else if you approach me incorrectly." Combine that energy and the VMAs turned into a powder keg. Social media erupted instantly. Memes flooded Twitter. Remy edited into WWE fight scenes. Claressa photoshopped in boxing gloves on the red carpet. One fan wrote, "Remy forgot this wasn't Summer Jam. The VMAs were this." Another person added, "Claressa attended the Grammy Awards. Remy tried to knock people out." But rumors of something more sinister began to circulate behind the jokes. A purported stylist posted direct messages saying that Remy had instructed her crew earlier that day, "If she crosses me, it's on sight." Was this a spontaneous attack, or was it premeditated? Did Remy walk into the VMAs ready for a fight instead of a performance? The narrative spiraled. Some fans sided with Claressa, calling her the victim of an unprovoked assault. Others insisted Remy was defending herself after Claressa allegedly threw shade backstage. One anonymous staffer told a blog, "You didn't hear everything." Remy simply responded when Claressa started babbling wildly. Who's telling the truth? That's the million-dollar question. Industry insiders poured gasoline on the fire. The VMAs may have had music, but the real performance was backstage, away from the stage lights. Then came the bombshell. Security footage allegedly exists that shows the entire fight unedited. Remy's friend allegedly claimed that she's been holding this in for months. Claressa insulted her at a private party, and Remy never forgot. Another source close to Claressa clapped back. Claressa doesn't need to fight for attention. She's already a champion. Remy was jealous. Producers have refrained from commenting out of concern that it would completely ruin the event. But snippets continue to surface, sending viewers into a frenzy. One piece of footage that has gone viral on TikTok seems to show Claressa yelling, "You picked the wrong one," before being dragged away. Imagine the damage if the full tape ever drops. Fans are already demanding it, flooding the VMA's official page with comments like, "Release the film," and "Music is why we came. Violence is why we stayed." But here's the real kicker. Just when everyone thought they'd seen the worst of it, another voice in the hidden footage whispered something chilling. This isn't over. Because if the internet took those words and turned them into a prophecy. By morning, the hashtags #Remy versus Claressa, #VMUS fight, and #This Isn't Over Stan Wars were all over Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Then, the fight at the VMAs was just the opening act in a much bigger, darker war. This isn't over. Those three words whispered in the chaos of backstage became the gasoline on an already raging fire. Fans watched the leaked clip repeatedly, dissecting every shaky pixel and distorted syllable. If she truly desired to, Remy wouldn't be standing if he retaliated. A Remy admirer clapped back, saying, "Claressa was incapable of managing even a rapper. Consider the idea that belts shield you from hands." Then came the evidence. Blogs began posting grainy screenshots they said were taken from hidden security feeds, one of which showed a blurry Remy with her hand raised, and another of which showed Claressa pushing back. The headline screamed, "New angle confirms who hit first." The problem was that each blog had a different angle, a different story, and some swore it proved Remy attacked without provocation. The comments became so nasty that some fan pages had to completely shut down their replies. Truth or lies, nobody cared. The chaos was too entertaining. And anonymous insiders continued to pile on. A security guard insisted Remy was the one bleeding. A so-called makeup artist said Claressa had scratches on her face. And even catering staff tweeted, "Food got knocked over." People are yelling. The table was broken close to the wings. Every word, whether true or not, was devoured by fans. The memes, meanwhile, went viral. Remy used Photoshop to create a Mortal Kombat death. Claressa was edited onto posters of Rocky, and the two became popular together. Using wigs and costumes, TikTokers theatrically collapsed after yelling. This isn't over. In a single day, one video received 10 million views. The altercation had transcended the VMAs and become a cultural event. However, the murmurs grew more sinister. According to others, Remy and Claressa had been at odds for months because of a botched private business transaction. Another alleged leak from Ree's camp stated she believes belts make her untouchable. Watch what happens. Another purportedly leaked text thread showed Claressa telling a buddy, "Ree's not built for this. I'll shut her down soon." Were they real? Probably not, but that didn't stop blogs from posting them with flashing red captions. Leaked DMs prove bad blood. Cardi B even got dragged into the mess. Fans demanded that she choose a side when they resurfaced old clips of her with both women. One gossip blogger claimed that Cardi was seen calling Claressa after the fight, while another insisted that she texted Remy instead. Within hours, Twitter was trending. Hashtag, whose side is Cardi on? Then a phony medical report purportedly leaked from a hospital appeared online, claiming that Claressa had minor facial trauma and that Remy had a fractured nail. Fans laughed hysterically at the trivial detail. One of them, attempting to box a boxer and breaking a nail. Someone else retorted Charleroi won by choice. The VMAs had hoped to bury the incident and focus on performances instead, but the fight overshadowed everything. The fight caused the ratings to turn sour, with critics criticizing the event as the night fists replaced the awards, sponsors whispering concerns, and one brand allegedly threatening to pull out unless footage was controlled. The plot thickened when an anonymous Twitter account created the night of the fight posted. The memes practically wrote themselves, but not everyone was laughing. Producers panicked behind the scenes. Fans went crazy when they saw the blurred screenshot of two women fighting that was attached. They wanted to know who owned the tape when it would be released, and whether TMZ had already paid millions for it, or if a rogue staffer was holding it hostage for money. Claressa finally broke her silence with a mysterious post that read, "Champions don't fall. We rise." Fans bombarded her comments with gloves and crown emojis, while Remy responded with her own message. Some fights don't happen in rings. Spark a new controversy. Fans began to speculate that the fight was staged for publicity, while others argued that it was too vicious and authentic to be false. A blogger's video, "Why the Remy versus Claressa fight is the biggest industry setup of the year," went viral. It claimed that producers staged the altercation to increase viewership. The hypothesis sounded crazy, but it quickly gained traction. Next came the audio leak, which appeared on Reddit and featured a muffled recording of voices yelling, security yelling, and one person screaming, "She struck me first." Was it Remy, Claressa, or Ayaz, if things weren't messy enough? A phony legal draft appeared online, indicating that Claressa's team was getting ready to sue Remy for assault. Screenshots showed phrases like loss of income and emotional damages. Within hours, blogs declared, "Claressa takes legal action against Remy." Bystander. No one knew, but the audio garnered millions of listens. Fans analyzed every second, slowing it down, enhancing it, and claiming they could hear Remy's Bronx accent in the chaos. Was it authentic? In the court of rumor, perception rather than proof is reality. And all of a sudden, it was reported as fact in headlines throughout the world. In the meantime, fans were captivated by every leak, whisper, and blurry clip deep in the story. No one cared what songs were released at the VMAs or who won Best Video. The only show people wanted was Remy versus Claressa, Round 2. As tension increased, the internet kept returning to those terrifying three words: "This isn't over." Anonymous friends of both women fueled the fires. One friend of Remy said she's ready for whatever comes. They think she's scared, but she's not. What do they mean? A rematch, a larger scandal, another tape that is just waiting to be released. Because if insiders are correct, the fight at the VMAs wasn't the end, but rather the beginning. And the real story, the one that could ruin careers, reputations, and possibly even entire empires, was about to come to light. Days later, the internet finally got what it had been clamoring for: the entire hidden tape, complete with blurry screenshots and muffled audio, just raw, unedited chaos captured on a backstage security camera. The tape captured everything, including Remy storming down the hall, Claressa smirking as if she knew what was going to happen. And then, the explosive collision. Remy shoved first, Claressa swung back, and then it was fists, hair and gowns flying like a pay-per-view special gone wrong. Security screamed, managers attempted to step in, and celebrities stood staring with their mouths open. At one point, a chair tipped over. And someone shouted, "She's a boxer." Not a rapper. Stop her. A seat was requested by the internet. And fans clipped every second of the 4K tape delivery, sharing slow-motion edits with dramatic music on TikTok. One viral video replayed Claressa's punch with the message, "There's a reason she's undefeated." Another set of Remy shove. Is she still the pandemonium queen? Then came the legal storm. Within 48 hours, gossip blogs claimed that Claressa's lawyers had filed an official complaint accusing Remy of assault and defamation. While another rumor swore Remy was counting, Twitter was ablaze with debates about who won the fight. Whether Remy was brave or reckless, and whether Claressa had crossed the line by fighting back. The scandal was no longer just bruises and memes. It was millions of dollars bleeding out in endorsements. Fans, of course, turned it into a theatrical production, and TikTok lawyers made parody breakdowns. Fake documents floated everywhere, filled with dramatic language like irreparable brand damage and loss of career opportunities. And the brands didn't wait for the courts. One cosmetics company quietly cut ties with Remy, scrubbing her from their campaigns, and a sportswear giant reportedly called Claressa to reevaluate their partnership. One fan joked, "Judge Judy is going to make waves when she takes this case," as Twitter proclaimed itself the courtroom. And just when the storm seemed to settle, another twist detonated. A new clip leaked. Footage that wasn't from security cameras but from a hidden phone. This angle showed the aftermath, with Remy being dragged away shouting, "You think this is over? This is just the start." Fans yelled, "Is this evidence that she had been planning retaliation all along?" Theories grew, with some claiming the brawl was a covert reality TV spin-off with producers masterminding the mayhem, while others said influential business executives were using it to set Remy against the internet loves a cover-up. And this fight became the perfect playground. Meanwhile, celebrities started taking sides. One rapper posted a cryptic tweet. "Some people never learn to respect champions." Fans took it as a jab at Remy. And another reality star responded, "Sometimes champs forget who paved the way." Suddenly, the fight wasn't just between two women. It was dragging half the industry into its orbit. The media circus became intolerable. Talk shows discussed it every day. Experts offered their opinions. And even late-night comedians used it as material for their monologues. But beneath the laughter was a darker tone. How would this end? Would either woman be able to move on from this scandal, or would it forever define them? Claressa attempted to maintain her composure by sharing a picture of herself in the gym with the caption, "Still undefeated." Remy clapped back with a video, dramatically lighting a cigar and muttering, "Queens don't fall." The feud formally became a drama once both posts went viral and both fan groups intensified. Then the final nail in the coffin dropped. A purportedly leaked email from VMA producers hit the internet gasped when it was revealed that the network was thinking of barring Remy and Claressa from future events because of uncontrollable risk. Was the altercation going to cost them their spot on one of the biggest stages in music? Fans began to split up once more, with some yelling injustice and others applauding the punishment. However, the real question loomed larger. What did the industry know that the public didn't? Because buried in that same email was a mysterious line. The footage we've seen is only a portion of the story. More is still to come. The producer's email was true, so the fight at the VMAs wasn't the climax but the trailer. The real scandal, the one that could ruin not just reputations but entire careers, was still locked away. And as fans braced themselves for whatever came next, one phrase haunted every timeline, every comment section, and every late-night conspiracy stream. But what could be worse than the brutal tape that had already leaked? Fans flooded forums demanding answers. Was there an even darker angle? Was someone else involved? Who was the shadowy figure seen in the corner of one clip, silently watching as chaos unfolded? Now that you've seen it all, the VMAs will always be remembered not for the music but for the night. Remy Ma and Claressa Shields turned a glamorous red carpet into a battlefield. What began as rumors of tension turned into leaked tapes, lawsuits, lost sponsorship, and an entire industry forced to take sides. But the biggest question is still unanswered. Who really won this war? Because, let's face it, Remy may have struck first, but did she also strike last? Claressa may have defended herself, but did the hidden tapes reveal too much?